Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got one for you today and it's a bit of a groundbreaker. We're going to put together this one-page site here using the Divi theme, and we're also going to use ChatGPT to generate the content, and everything on this site content-wise we've generated with ChatGPT, and we're using a simple Divi template to actually build this site. And if I go back to the top, it's a one-page scrolling site. And you can put your site together so quickly with this new technology, it's unbelievable. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a new page. I'm going to go up to new, a new page. And incidentally, of course, ChatGPT's its own thing and will work with any website build. Let's call it one page. As we're building a one-page scrolling site, I'm going to use the Divi builder. Once enabled, I'm going to choose a pre-made layout. And they've got plenty to choose from here. You can either select something over here or do a search. Let's search for web, perhaps. And I'm going to use this hosting company landing page. To preview one, just left click on it. And you can view a live demo. And check out what it's going to look like, whether it's going to fit in with what you've got. I know this will work because this is the one I use. So I'm going to go ahead and use this layout. While that layout's loaded, go over to openai.com if you want to use ChatGPT. If you scroll down the page a little bit, here it is. Hit the try ChatGPT button right there. And that'll take you to the page. I'm already logged into mine. I'm going to go ahead and close that. I've got it open over here. You will need to create a free account, and it is free, at least for the time being. Once you've created it, you can go in and start your chats and things like that. And I'll show you how we do this as we go along. At the end of the video, I'll show you somewhere where you can actually generate images using AI. And again, that's pretty impressive. Okay, well, let's go back to our site. And it's loaded our page here. And that looks fine and everything. It's okay. But of course, it's filled up with lorem ipsum dummy text. So of course, we want to make this make some sense. And like any Divi site, we've got a blue tab for a section. You can go in there, change the backgrounds and things like that. Green tab for a row. And a dark tab for a module. And of course, you can go in and change any images you want. But for me, the images on this site are going to work fine. Okay, well, let's go over to ChatGPT. And I want about 25 words, I'm guessing that is, about premium hosting services. And I've still got the chats that I've used here. So let's just go ahead and use those before. And use those again, I should say. With ChatGPT, the more detail you can give it, the better results you're going to get. So let's say write 50 words about premium hosting services. I'm not sure I want as much as that. Sorry, I did that before. Let's write 25 words about hosting services. Put your question down in the little box down here. Hit return. If I scroll back down to the bottom here, it'll start generating that content for us. And there it is. And if you don't like what it's done, I'm going to copy that quickly. You can get it to regenerate the response. Well, you're happy with what you've got, simply copy it. Control-C to copy. We'll go back to our one-page site. You don't really even need to go in there. Just click in the middle to your cursor. Flashes like that. Select the text they've got there. And Control-V to paste it in. Now we've got buttons on this site. I'm actually going to create a contact form at the bottom. And for anybody that clicks on one of these buttons, I'm going to have it go there. I'll show you how to add those links later on. And as I mentioned earlier, change out the images if you want to. They're actually going to work for me. Okay, we've got a title here, and again it's lorem ipsum. Let's use what I used before. Let's say write 20 words about hosting services. And again, if you don't like it, just get it to regenerate it. And let's grab it again. Control C to copy. We'll go back. And again, I'm just going to click anywhere inside that box, get my cursor up, and replace what we've got in there. I'm going to replace that with our. And again, I'll link that to our contact us. Now we've got several little info boxes here. And they've each got, if I count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're about 40 words each. So we can fill them out with some more ChatGPT. So if we go back over, we can say, write 40 words about the importance of uptime. Website uptime. And as I mentioned earlier, we're using the free version of ChatGPT here. I haven't had a need to actually use the premium version. Whether that'll change in the future, I'm not sure. Again, Control C to copy. Back to our site. Place your cursor in the middle. And of course, you can personalize this. And you can paste it in there. And I did the same thing for secure backup, safe and secure, and dedicated support. And I got some great little results. If I roll back up the page here, there's the uptime. Here's your secure website backups. And again, I'll copy that. And I'll pause this. I'll just populate these with the ones that I've done there. Secure backups. Again, just click in there. Select what they've got. And Control V. Paste the new content in there. I'll just pause, do these other two. I did exactly the same thing for those. So there we go. We've got the safe and secure dedicated support. I actually had to do a pressure washing website a few weeks ago and got it to generate, I think it was a 150 word article about pressure and power washing. And the guy contacted me afterwards and said, how on earth did you learn so much about pressure washing? And it was all done with ChatGPT. Pre-configured setups. So I did 30 words about using cPanel, which is what I use with my hosting. And again, simply just click in there. Select what they've got. Replace it with what you want. And down below, we've got these little blurb type modules. We've got sort of cloud computing, SSLs, file uploads, backend monitoring, Wi-Fi, and online storage. And again, if we roll down, it said write 10 words about cloud computing. Remember, this is for people that don't know too much about web design, or else they'd be doing it themselves. And so a little description just tells them what these things mean. And again, what I'll do is I'll go back. I've already got these answers. 10 words about SSDs, 10 words about file uploads. I'll populate these and we'll move on. And there we are. I've just populated those with a little bit of info about each of those things. We move on down to our pricing. Obviously, the pricing is entirely up to you. But you can go in. These are regular pricing tables. Just go in there. Change whatever you need to. I'm happy with that. The actual price is a little bit low for me, but there we are. When you're happy, keep going. And again, I'm going to connect the link, the button link at the bottom to the contact form I'm going to put at the bottom of the page. So let's just save that. save the pricing tables, and do the similar for your next two over there. Safe and secure web hosting backups. Well, they've not really got any titles here. So you've got, to me, that's sort of cloud computing, solid state drives again, and backend. So I asked it to write 20 words about cloud storage benefits. And again, like I mentioned before, the more detail you give it in your questions, the better the answers you're going to get. So again, you can just go in there. Now let's perhaps change that title, cloud storage. Just copy that. And we'll go up to the title. There we go. And again, I'll pause and do similar for these two down below. I've already got the results over here. 20 words about SSDs, 20 words about professional web design benefits. And there's that little section done right then. Again, we've got a button and an image. That image works for me, but of course change it out if it doesn't work for you. Moving on down, talk with an expert. Well, I'm going to expand on this. I want it a little bit bigger than this, or more information than that. So I think I asked it to write 100 words about using professional web design experts. And this is what it came up with. And if you read it, it's pretty good. So I'm going to copy that. And again, do exactly the same thing. The button, again, is going to link to my contact. So I'm going to go in there, and instead of live chat, I'm not going to install a live chat on this. Let's say WeChat, or whatever it is you want to say. Moving on down, one-click installs. Well, they kind of got a bullet list there, so I asked it to write 20 words about one-click installs, which is fine. It did, and I'll use that for the title right there, Control-C. And Control-V to paste it. And they kind of got a bullet list. These are sort of blurb modules. So I asked it to write a little bullet list, and it gave me a bit more than I wanted. So I sort of cherry-picked a few things out. I'm going to say quickly and easy install. And again, we can go in here. As it's a blurb, I'll hit the cog because that's a title right there. And paste in quickly and easy. Let's just capitalize perhaps that first letter. And then I cherry-picked WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, and Magento. Exactly the same thing. Nicely capitalized already. Wide range of templates and plugins. Well, in fact, let's just use templates, plugins, and themes. And of course, this is all just examples. You've got to find something that's going to work for you. But I've actually been using this ChatGPT also for some of my YouTube descriptions and all kind of applications. Blog posts. I've written several blog posts using it and some images. And let's use automatic updates and security. And of course you might be thinking, well, this is my business, I know all about this, I want to write my own titles. That's absolutely fine, but sometimes you get clients and you've got to build a site that you know nothing about, and this is just an amazing addition. Again, we've got a button. I'm going to take them down to my contact form when I build it. Now here we've got some testimonials. Obviously it's always going to be better to have real testimonials, and like I say, at the end I'll show you a site where you can generate images if you want to for people. So I went over, I said, write 3 40-word website build testimonials, include a fictitious name after each one. And this is what it came out. Testimonial 1, it's got John Smith, founder, Jane Doe, really interesting, believable names, but of course you can change all that. And of course, you want to put your company name in instead of ABC Web Design. Simply grab this. I'll leave the name there. And back over. Again, just click within it until the cursor pops up. Paste in your new stuff there. Change the name if you want to. I'm actually going to leave that as it is. And I'll leave that image. And I'll pause and we'll do exactly the same for the other two. And there we have it. We've got our 3 little testimonials there. I replaced it with my own company name. I want to get rid of that X, Y, Z right there. Great. Like I say, it is always better if you've got real testimonials. 24/7 award-winning support and 30-day money-back guarantees. I think I just asked it to do 20 or 25. Let's have a look. Right, 25 words about 24/7 award-winning support. So I don't want it to say 24/7 again. I just want it to say perhaps our support. So I grab this. Back in there. Click. Replace, Control V. And I just put our. Now I asked it to tell me a few words, 25 words about benefits for a 30-day money-back guarantee. And again, if you can do this off the top of your head, it's probably a lot easier, but like I say, this makes it so easy for you, why not use it? Well, I'd like it to be similar height to our other one, so we could either give it a fixed height by going in there, or I can drop down and say no questions asked perhaps. Okay, let's move on down. 30 days of free hosting. So I asked it, what are the benefits of having 33 free days of hosting? I said, write 60 words on the benefits of 30 days of free web hosting. And it came up with this. And again, if you don't like what it's given you, regenerate it and of course customize it to your needs. That did actually work for me. Great. Now that's the bottom of the page here, and they've got no way of contacting us. So I just want to add a contact form at the bottom, and all the buttons and links I'm going to have coming down to the contact so they can actually contact us. So to keep in with the styling that we got for this site, I'm actually going to duplicate this module here. Just click anywhere outside the module and it'll give you the regular Divi tabs, green for a row, dark for a module. I'm going to hit the clone, which is the 2 little squares there, or duplicate. And now we got 2 of those. I'm going to drag this just below. And what I'm going to do, because I want to set an anchor point to the contact form so that people can scroll to it, I'm going to add a new row. I'm going to put a single column in there. I'm not going to put anything in it. I'm going to drag this one down there that we just cloned into our little row there. Now I'm just going to use the title part of it, so I can go in there and select all of that text and delete it. Great. And let's just change this title to reach out, or whatever it is you want to say for your contact form. Reach out today. Let's just capitalize that first R. And let's add us a little contact form. So I'm going to go, just hover over, I'm going to click anywhere around it. I'm going to hit the little plus sign to add a new module. Let's put a contact form in here. And that's okay. Let's just configure it quickly. That's all I really want, is a name, email, and message. We can add a subject field perhaps after the name. And we'll call it subject. And we'll use that for the title as well. And if we look, it's added it under here. Let's go back to our content there. So we can save that back to the main contact form settings. To move it, just pull it up. Tab it at the top there, subject, name, email. I kind of like to make both the name and the email address full width. So what I can do is actually the top one's full width there. I can say extend item styles. It's got a row of its own. So let's say to this row, hit extend. Now we've got all full width rows there. That's great. Okay, well, let's configure this for really easy. Give it a title. I don't need a title because I've made one up there really. If you put one in, it'll appear up here. You do want a success message to let them know that the message has been sent. Whatever you want to say for you. Submit button says submit on there. You can change what it says down below if you want to. I'm happy with mine to say submit. Now the important part is where you want this form sent. So that's you at your email address. Don't need to change the pattern. You can use percentages, signs to change the way that your message is received there. But I want it just to say subject name, email and message. You can redirect them with a redirect link if you want to anywhere you want. I'm happy for it to stay there and just pop up with a sent message. We got a bit of spam protection on there. That's great. I'm going to leave it. You can add Google Capture or reCapture, I should say, if you want to. We're using basic at the moment. Don't want a link. Not going to add a background or anything like that. Okay, design wise, I need that button to stand out a bit more and that little bit of text down with the reCapture to stand out a bit more. And just to keep more in line with the site, they've got box shadows on things. I'm going to add a bit of box shadow to our fields there. So let's go over to design. Here's the fields. Here's the text, title text, capture text. I need to turn white so we can see it. If we roll on down, here's the button. I'm not going to spend too much time styling it. I'm just going to flip that on. You can style your button however you wish. I'm going to simply turn my text white. As you can see, that button stands out a lot more there. And to finish off, let's pop a bit of box shadow on. I'm going to roll all the way down. We'll put a bit on the button there. That's the button box shadow. And let's put some on all the fields. If we roll down some more, we've got a dedicated box shadow drop down there. There we go. That just lifts it off the page a little bit. Great. Well, that's most of our website done there. What we need to do is we have to create a menu so we can scroll to all these sections. And if we want to scroll to all these sections, we've got to give them a CSS ID each. So here's our contact section. I'm going to have it stop right here where our row is. So let's go into the row, to advanced CSS IDs and classes, and I'll give it a CSS ID of contact. It doesn't matter what you call it, but it does need to be unique. I kind of like mine to make a bit of sense, so contact works. That's great. And let's decide what other sections we'd like to display from our menu. Testimonials, perhaps. This time I'm going to go into the section, the blue tab, rather than the row. The row would probably work. I'm going to go into the section, little cog, advanced CSS IDs and classes, and we'll call it testimonials. To roll back up. How about installs? That'll do. Again, into the section, advanced CSS IDs and classes. It's an ID. Got to make sure you put it in the ID field, and we'll call this installs. Now you can either remember these if you're good with your memory, or I tend to put them in a little text file to the left as I make them. That way when I make the menu I can remember what's going on. Don't want that one. How about security? That'll work. Cog, advanced CSS IDs and classes, ID security. And of course we want to show the prices. Again, I'll do that on the section one more time. Advanced CSS ID of price. And I think that'll do it. We could do services, that would be nice. And the reason this is orange, this is what they call a specialty section that's sort of laid out slightly different, but it is a section nonetheless, so we can go in there. Advanced CSS IDs and classes. Now we'll call this services. And that'll do it. I'm going to put one right on the top section and call it home here. Again, into the section, advanced, CSS ID of home. Great. We'll save our draft or publish if you're ready. In fact, let's publish. Let's go ahead and publish. And the next thing we need to do is create a menu so we can scroll to all these sections. Let's go to the dashboard. Going to roll on down to Appearance. And there you'll find Menus. If you click on that. We need to add a new menu. So it says Create New Menu right here. Just go ahead and click on that. We'll give it a name. One page, whatever you want to call yours. And hit the little blue Create Menu button. And to make these things work today, we're actually going to use custom links. So if we go over here, roll down, here's our custom links. First one's going to be home. Put what you want it to say on the menu right there. And we've got to link it. Remember, we gave that a CSS ID, the top section of home. All CSS IDs have to have a hashtag in front of them. Then the name you gave it. Add it to the menu. Now I think the next one was services. Hashtag services. And put what you want the menu to say up there. Add it to the menu. And I'll pause now. I'm just rinsing and repeating. And I'll add the others. Okay, well I've added them all to my menu now. If you wanted to move them up and down, simply left click, drag them to where you want to put them. I'm happy with that order. Now where do we want this? I want it on the primary menu, which is our top menu there. I've got no secondary menu, but I also want it on the footer menu, and I'll show you how to quickly create a global footer for your Divi site in just a second. So we'll save that. Once saved, we can go back to the page. We can exit the Visual Builder now, which will refresh the page. And here's our new menu at the top here. Services. Takes us down to our little service section. Pricing. Going to take us down to our pricing. Security. Installs. Customer testimonials. And our little contact form at the bottom there. And as I mentioned earlier, if we go back up to the top, if I hit the home button, I want to change all my buttons to link to the contact form. So really easy to do. Let's enable the Visual Builder again. I'm going to go down, and to each of my buttons, I'm going to go into them. Simply click on the button, hit the little cog, go into the link, and put where you want it to take them. In my case, it's down in my contact section. Remember, it's a CSS ID, so it has to have a hashtag, and then the name that you gave for your CSS ID. And that's it. Just rinse and repeat for all your buttons, wherever you want to take people. There's another one there. I won't do it, because I'm sure you know how to do it once you've done it once. Same with these. We need to connect those to our contact form. Okay, well the only thing left is to add a little footer, unless you want to use the generic Divi one that's on there. I've got a little one here. We'll get rid of that. So let's go back to our dashboard again. We're in the menus at the moment. I'm going to go down to Divi this time. Theme Builder. Here's the one that was sitting there before. Doesn't quite work with that bigger menu, so I'm going to delete it. I'm going to add a global footer again. I'm simply going to click on the field, build a global footer. And by default, it puts in a little section, the blue tab at the top. And we need to add a row. I want to make my row 3 columns. I'm also going to make it full width. In the first column, I'm going to put my little logo. I'll just use an image. You could use a menu module and put the image and the menu in at the same time, but I'm going to use an image for mine. I'm going to make my footer dark, so I want a light version of my logo. Scroll down, there we go. We'll pop that in there. Too big, but we'll adjust that in a moment. In the middle, I'm going to put a menu module. Save my little logo there. And we'll style it in a moment. There's a menu module. I want my one-page menu. There it is right there. And perhaps on the right-hand side, let's just have a button that goes to our little contact form. And we'll say contact. And we want to link it again to our little contact section. And obviously it needs to open in the same window. Okay, well, I want to make this dark background. So I'm going to go into my section. I'm going to hit background, which is under content. Don't want it to be black, but I want it to be pretty close. So I'm going to hit the little three buttons. There's a drop down. Let's make it almost black. There we go. That logo stands out. Obviously got a background color on my menu there I need to take away. So while we're in the section, it's way too deep. I need to take any padding away to make it a lot smaller. So I'm going to go to design, spacing, padding. Simply put a 0 in the top. Hit the chain. It'll take it off the bottom too. Now that logo is way too big. That's fine. We'll adjust that. I'm actually going to make this full width. So we'll save our section settings there. I'm going to go into the row, the green tab for the row. I want to make it full width. So I'm going to go to design, sizing, width. I'm going to take up to 100%. I'm going to copy that, Control C. I'm going to paste it down below in max width, or you can type it in if you prefer. We've now got a full width row there. But of course that looks a bit crazy. Let's make it look right. I'm going to go into my little image module, design, sizing. I'm going to take the width down till it's about the size that I want it. Something like that. I do want it to be in the middle. Let's make that 30%. Module alignment just below there. It's going to pop it in the middle. That way on mobile devices, it'll stack on top of everything else in the middle. Our menu is looking better now, but of course I don't like that crazy white background. So let's go into our menu module. I'm going to take any background away. So under content, background, there's the default white that it's given it. I'm going to take that away. But of course we can't read our text. So if we go over to our design, layout, I want it centered. I know you can't see it very well. Menu text down below. Let's make the active link white, and I'll make the regular link white. And there we go. And it should be in the middle for us there too. Fantastic. Well, let's go into our little button here now. I want to pop that in the middle. And all I'm going to do is change the color to white so we can see it. So into the module, design, alignment. I'm going to pop it into the middle there. Button, again, I'm not going to spend too much time styling this. Just make it white. And that's all I'm going to do. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Size is okay. Menu's a little high, so we just need to add a bit of padding to the top. Going to go into that menu, design. Go down to spacing. Let's try adding 10 pixels to the top and see what happens. Yeah, that's about right. Great, well, let's save this. Save our changes at the bottom here. X out. Make sure everything's saved on this page. Great. Now let's go back to our site. We've still got our Visual Builder activated. Let's exit it. We may need to save. Yeah, it's prompting us that we've got unsaved changes, so let's save and exit. And here we are. We can scroll on down. And if I roll down a bit more, there's our new little footer. And of course our links will work on the way back up too. And our contact form's not going to do a whole lot. It'll just scroll up slightly to the top of that contact section there. So there you have it, guys. We've created this whole website. Actually, before I stop, one more thing. As it's a one-page scroller, I know we've got the home button here, but it's quite a good idea to have a back to the top button at the side. So let's go back down to our dashboard. At the moment we're in the theme builder. Go down to Divi, to theme options, and we'll roll down. And here you'll find back to the top button, almost to the bottom of the page there. Go ahead and switch that on. Now you can go down to the bottom or back to the top, but make sure you hit the green button to save the changes. Now if we go back and refresh our page, once I start scrolling down, you'll see a little back to the top button up here there. There you go guys, there's how to make a website really quickly. I know it's a one-page scroller, but this would work just as well for a multi-page site using the Divi theme and ChatGPT. Now I mentioned earlier I'd show you how to generate images with AI as well. Now I've not used this very much, but I'll show you. Let's go over here and let's type in DALL-E, D-A-L-L-E-E. And there it is. And DALL-E is a system that can generate realistic images and art from a description. So let's try it. And I've only used this a few times, but you can come up with some crazy results. Yeah, let's try generate 5 photos of headshots of male and female office workers. And I'm sure the more details you put in, the better the results are going to be. And there it is. It's generated a bunch of photos of AI generated people, and there's some very strange looking people there, but there are some that you could actually use, crop and put on your site. And of course you can use it for other images of computers or whatever it is pertaining to your site that you're building. As I say, I've not used this very much, but there it is. So there you go guys. There is how to create your one-page scrolling site really quickly using the Divi theme and ChatGPT. And don't forget, this OpenAI, you're not plagiarizing anything here. It's actually going out, it's researching, and it's coming up with an answer for you. A bit like if you researched something and did a summary on it. So you're not plagiarizing using this. Now, I don't know if it's going to put content creators out of business, but I'm really, really impressed with it so far, and we've just scratched the surface of it. But of course, they said VHS videos would be the end of the cinemas, and cinemas are booming. But what do I know? So anyway, guys, there is how to create a one-page scrolling website with a Divi theme and ChatGPT. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, pop them below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you or create a video. And please don't ask me too many questions about ChatGPT because it's all new to me too. So I hope you've enjoyed this today. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.